welcome to Good Games Spawn Point, the show for younger gamers by gamers. I'm Bajo.
And I'm Hex.
And I am the data-analyzing robot for the ruthless extermination of noobs.
Yes, and that's why we call you Darren, because it's much shorter than saying all that and wasting valuable review time, Darren.
Affirmative.
Coming up in the show, we explore the lush and colourful landscapes of Pikmin 3.
Did you know that Pikmin was created by Shigeru Miyamoto, the man who invented Mario?
Speaking of Mario, hopefully we'll get to have a look at Mario and Luigi Dream Team today, but it hasn't turned up yet.
Oh. You know what? It's probably in the mailroom. We should just go and have a look for it after I read the news.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.
I just remembered, Barjo, I left the oven on inside the DARREN cave.
Whoa.
So I really should go and turn that off.
You left the oven on? Are you making cupcakes, Darren? Are you making cupcakes?
Of course I am, Barjo.
Go take care of that quickly. Go.
Plenty of cupcakes for you.
No, I'm going to pretend eating them while you're gone.
Hex here with all the gaming news from around the world. Canadian digital design shop Globacore has created Paper Dude VR, a game which combines a virtual reality headset, a real bike and a Kinect sensor to create the most lifelike virtual paper delivery experience available. The bike uses a special sensor to collect speed data, while the Kinect tracks players' throwing motions and the headset fully immerses the player in their delivery route. The game, however, does not pay you any wages. 10-year-old Griffin Sanders from Colorado, America managed to avert a potential head-on collision thanks to his quick thinking and Mario Kart skills. Griffin was riding as a passenger with his 74-year-old grandmother and 4-year-old brother when his grandmother passed out and the car began to veer into oncoming traffic. However, Griffin quickly reached over and grabbed the steering wheel, guiding the car safely into a muddy ditch to stop it. He said playing Mario Kart helped him know what to do and react in time to save the day.
Oh.
Did you go pick up the game from the mailroom?
No, you were going to do that because I'm sitting here waiting for Darren to bring us some cupcakes, delicious cupcakes.
I didn't smell any cupcakes.
Hang on a sec. The mailroom!
Darren, why are you hiding?
Don't worry about that, Goose. Just do what I tell you. Ring the bell.
I don't understand.
Just ask for the package.
Yes. Hi, I'm here to pick up the package for Good Game. Really? Just... Yeah. Oh, I don't know anyone from French birth.
I knew it! You wait there.
Darren, what do I do?
Grab the package, Goose, and run!
Let's get out of here. Oh, Darren, that was close.
Affirmative. I have no idea what he was angry about.
Okay, now, are you ready to review? Oh, Mario and Luigi Dream Team Brothers.
Affirmative.
Wahoo! Mario and Luigi Dream Team Brothers sees the gang off to the holiday destination of Pillow Island, and once again, Princess Peach is in trouble.
Affirmative. There's a mysterious villain on the island. Not only has he kidnapped Princess Peach, but he's trapped many of the pillow people inside stone pillows. When Luigi sleeps on these pillows, he creates portals into the dream world. The game is split across these two worlds, the Dreamland and the real world RPG sections.
Being an RPG, I have to say I had mixed feelings about the game's conversations. I like that some are funny, playing on the Mario Brothers sibling rivalry, but I also think there's just too much text to scroll through, Darren. You spend nearly half the game just chatting to people.
Well, Goose, this is an RPG. You can't create a rich cast of characters without establishing some detailed backstories. I really liked the locals with their French accents, which I couldn't help but narrating for myself. The dream world, she is not cheap, so I must work. Savvy.
Yeah, okay, they were pretty funny, Darren. And I did like the way you could control both Mario and Luigi at the same time.
Wee wee.
Wee wee. The A button jumps Mario and the B button jumps Luigi. So this means you need to time both buttons correctly to get the brothers across gaps.
Like with any respectable RPG, you'll find a lot of residents who will need you to solve puzzles for them. As you complete each challenge, you'll unlock new gear, like new clothes for the Mario Brothers. And of course, battles play a large role.
Yes, these all felt very familiar to me. I've never really liked it in RPGs where you're blindsided with random encounters. So I was glad to see here you can actually see the enemies on the map. And in true Mario style, you start the encounters by either jumping on their heads or smacking them with a hammer, just like the Paper Mario series. These battles start off quite basic, but you'll soon discover there's quite a bit of depth to timing your attacks, and I think this suits Mario and Luigi perfectly. Mistime your jump and you'll barely do any damage, but when you get the timing just right, you can open up additional jumps and do far more damage.
And after each battle, you earn experience points that you can use to improve your stats. Each time you level up, you get a natural boost to all of your stats, but there's also a wild card that lets you pick one attribute to receive an extra boost. Of course, I always boosted attacking power, engaging maximum damage.
It is great fun getting lost in all that stat grinding, isn't it? I also thought a nice highlight with the dream sequences. While Luigi's asleep, you're able to explore his subconscious. The platforming itself is pretty simple, but there are some clever twists where you get to manipulate Luigi's face on the lower screen to possess parts of the background in the top screen. Okay, Darren, what are you giving it?
Well, controlling both Mario Brothers at once was a lot of fun, and I'm a sucker for those franche accents. However, the game's pace was a bit slow and the action is quite basic. Okay, time for my score. Calculating. The game receives 0.
0? Oh, Darren, that's a bit harsh.
Oh, you didn't let me finish. I was going to say 0111, which is binary speak for the number 7. So it's 7 rubber chickens from me.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I'm going to give it a 7 as well. Now, Darren, you should get back to the Den of Gaming before Bajo and Hex notice anything.
Oh, affirmative. Just a small pit stop in South Korea first.
South Korea?
Down on the way! Off I go! Today, we're off to South Korea! Oh, look at the magnificent Gyeongbok Palace, originally built in the 1300s. Oh, so many people, so many lights, so much technology. Hop, 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 hop on Gangnam Style. Ah, the tranquility of Jeju Island. What lovely beaches. Oh. South Korea is one of the most online places on Earth, with the highest take-up of broadband internet. Over half its population of 50 million people consider themselves gamers. Video games are a major social activity in South Korea. Its human population loves to go to places called PC Bangs, which are essentially gaming centers. An hour at a PC Bang will usually cost about $1.50 for access to your favorite multiplayer and online games. At any moment, there are more than 4 million gamers playing online multiplayer games in South Korea. Electronic sports is also hugely popular, and South Korea has the highest level of professional gaming in the world. The best esports champions can earn up to hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. At the height of its popularity, StarCraft champion Lim Yo-hwan earned over $1 million. There are also 2 TV channels in South Korea entirely dedicated to video games, granting its 10 million esports fans access to all the important matches. The popularity of esports also resulted in the creation of the World Cyber Games in South Korea in 2004. Did you know a pro gamer's heart can reach 160 beats per minute, which is equal to a pro basketball player? However, life is not all rosy for gamers. About 8% of South Koreans aged 9 to 29 suffer from internet and gaming addiction. In 2011, to help the situation, the South Korean government passed a law banning children under 16 from playing certain online games from midnight till 6 a.m. With a domestic game market worth $2.4 billion, South Korea has a very healthy game development industry. Local companies such as NCSoft, Gravity, and Wizet make some of the most popular MMOs in the world. You might have heard of titles like Guild Wars, Ragnarok, MapleStory, and Gunbound. Back to you, Bajo and Hex.
Well, thanks, Goose and Darren, I guess.
Thanks, I guess. I'm just going to finish this email. So no one is allowed to collect anything from the mailroom ever again, except for Bajo and Hex. Picture below. It's a nice picture. Signed Bajo and Hex.
Yeah, and then put an exclamation point. Actually, just put like a whole line of exclamation marks there.
Make twice,
they know we're
twice
really
the size
serious
of the
about
email
this.
is going to be exclamation marks, so they get the point. And send. Bam.
Oh, now they know we're serious.
That'll take care of it.
Okay, well, we should at least have some good uninterrupted question answering time. So let's get to this one from Minecraft Cat Lover, aka Master of High Fives from the High Five Kingdom. Ooh, in Western Australia.
I didn't know there was a High Five Kingdom in Western Australia.
Your Highness.
Oh, Your Highness. I was wondering if you knew any good radio control plane sims on the PC, because my dad is probably going to buy a RC plane, so we want to learn how to fly one. P.S. Can Darren answer my question? P.S.S. Bargo, make these faces and sounds. And these ones are for Hex. Hello. Cool. Darren is awesome, Hex is cool, and Bargo is epic. Well, Master of High Fives, I'm afraid, but no, we can't ask Darren to answer your question because he's been a very naughty robot and he's taken over far too much of our show already this week. Oh,
Yeah, that's right. I shouldn't answer
no,
it.
don't do it.
I shouldn't
Don't do
answer
it. Just put it on silent. Just put it on silent.
I can't
Don't
help
pick
it.
up. Ah.
Hello,
Ah.
Hex speaking.
Oh, hello, Hex. I was just wondering if you need my help with this question.
No thanks, Darren. I think we've got it covered.
Yeah, I've got it covered, Darren.
Well, don't forget to mention that Phoenix RC Pro Flight Simulator, Real Flight RC Flight Simulator, and Aerofly are all good remote-controlled plane simulators.
Thanks, Darren. Yeah, we were totally going to mention those, weren't we, Barjo?
Yeah, absolutely. I have them written down right here.
He had them written down
See?
just over. Anyway, thanks.
Yeah, bye, Darren. It's actually quite a good answer, wasn't it?
Yeah. All right, well, let's move right along to this one from Crystal, who is somewhere in Queensland.
I wonder where.
Hi, Good Game SP. I just want to know, on the Nintendo, in the game Banjo-Kazooie, why is it that you have to be some kind of red bird and get 5 elf fiery things? Bye.
Well, Crystal, I assume that some kind of red bird you're talking about is actually Kazooie. And well, you have to be her since she's kind of half of the Banjo-Kazooie team. Without her, you couldn't fly or climb steep hills or poop out eggs or do your high jumps. Banjo is kind of rubbish without her, actually. They're a team.
And I'm guessing the 5 elf fiery things you're talking about are actually the Jinjos. And you don't have to get them, but if you collect all of them in a level, then you get an extra puzzle piece. All right, well, moving on to this one from Snubby Truffles 23, who is in Perth, Western Australia.
I have about 7 ideas a second.
Okay. What's one of your ideas?
Okay, I just got one. It's pants and a shirt stitched together, so when you get up, you just need to put on one piece of clothing.
Well, that's a onesie.
Bam, trademark, Bajo pants.
That's
shirt.
already been invented. That's
Bajo
a onesie.
pants shirt. Still working on the title. Bajo pants. Hey guys, I wanted to get the Darren skin, but it says page not found on the ABC website. Thanks. If you answer, Bajo and Hex do these together.
Okay, let's take a look at that. I'm just looking at the website up, Bajo.
Okay, the website. Here we go. Page not found.
Oh.
Right. What is this? Okay, I'm going to call Carrie and we'll get this sorted.
We should get it
Don't
fixed
you worry.
ASAP.
Carrie, hi. It's me. It's Bajo.
And Hex.
And Hex from Good Game.
From Good Game.
The show on the ABC.
Spawn Point?
About video games. Now, we've got a bit of a situation on our hands. Yeah. No, it's not about Darren. Well, it kind of isn't about Darren, but it is kind of. Well, anyway, look, the link to the Darren skin is broken on our website. Okay. Try it again now. Oh! Fixed! Carrie, you're a champion.
You're a champion.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thanks,
Bye.
Carrie.
Bajo.
Is there anything Carrie can't do? Sorry about that, Snuffy Truffles, but it should be working now.
And to get it set up as your skin in Minecraft, you just right-click on the link to save as. Then on the official Minecraft website, go into the profile section and select that image to use as your skin. Then when you sign into Minecraft the next time, voila, you'll be sporting the very stylish Darren skin.
Right, well, let's move on to this one now from Ghost, who is right behind you in Queensland. GGSP. Is it tour? Is the Xbox One coming out in October 2013 and the Xbox 360 will be no lone gear? Out, please tell me. Bye.
Well, Goss, to answer your question, it's a bit true, but it's a bit not true, because yes, the Xbox One is coming out later this year, but it's in November, not October. And no, the 360 will still be available. In fact, they just released a brand new version of the 360, so I'd say they're planning on supporting it for a few more years yet.
Yeah, and there are still plenty of games that are still coming out for 360, so I wouldn't worry about it going away for now. But let's move right along to this one from Blurg, who is in Blurble Blurb, which is in Victoria.
Hi, Good Game. What's up? I need, and I mean need, to know 1. When is Plants vs. Zombies 2, It's About Time, coming out for PC? I really, really, really need to know, and I mean really. 2. Have you heard of Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare? If so, can you please, and I mean please, tell me when it's coming out? And can you please, and I please, show me a sneak peek? 3, last question. Who is DARREN? Like, really, who is he? And whoever he is, he's a mega super noob! P.S. Bajo, do this. P.P.S. Hex, do these. P.P.P.S. Do the expressions count as words? P.P.P.P.S. See yas.
Well, blurg, you might have to wait a little while for the PC release of Plants vs. Zombies 2, as all they've said is that for now it's actually just an iOS exclusive game. But they have also said that over time they plan to bring it to more platforms. I mean, who knows how long that time is, really? My guess is it would be like a few months or something, but I'd be surprised if it took more than a year or so.
And yes, we have of course heard of Garden Warfare and even talked about it before a few times on the show, and that's due out halfway through next year on Xbox 360, Xbox One, and on the PC.
As for who DARREN is, well, it's a deep and philosophical question. I mean, who are any of us, really?
Darren's the robot and I'm Bajo and you're Hex.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know, but I mean, who is Bajo, really, for example? I mean, who are you inside?
I'm Bajo. I'm me.
No, I mean on a deep and meaningful level.
I've got my driver's license.
Who are you?
I can prove I'm Bajo. Do you need proof?
No, I was just trying to increase the value and substance of the cork. Okay, well, we have time for one more question today. I think we should go from this one from, It's a Paradox in Brisbane, Queensland.
It's Bajo.
I know what your name
picture,
is.
it's me. See?
It's like, what do you stand for? What kind of values do you represent? And what do you want to achieve in this lifetime as you shuffle along this mortal coil?
Proof of identity.
In the Oculus Right episode, which game was the one with the planets? P.S. DARREN is a noob! Ah, yes, that little demo is called Titans of Space. It isn't much of a game, really, though. I mean, all you really do is sit in a spaceship and it flies you around to all the planets in the solar system. It's very cool. You get such an amazing sense of the scale of the planets and space and stuff.
That sun is really huge. And I love towards the end of the demo when they show you the bigger sun and then the even bigger sun and then there's an even bigger, really massive one. And how if that was our sun, it would go all the way to Saturn. But of course Saturn wouldn't be there because the sun would destroy it and suck it into the massive sun.
If we had a sun that big, it would just destroy everything. Yeah. It definitely gives you a sense of just how big things are, unlike any book or documentary that I've seen. I think virtual reality would actually be a really powerful and fun teaching tool in the future.
Yeah,
all schools should have just virtual reality.
It should be mandatory.
Hex decrees it.
Yes, it has been decreed.
Anyway, I think on that note, we're out of time for this week. If you'd like to ask us something, then go on here, send us your questions. For now, let's get back to the studio.
Okay, Hex.
Our studio that we do reviews in, because this is our show, not Darren's.
Oh, DARREN! Nice of you to join us back in the studio.
Guys, I'd never played a proper Pikmin game before, but I'd heard a lot about it and I knew that the franchise had a lot of fans, and now I see why. This is the kind of busying gameplay that can keep you occupied for hours, and it's pretty darn cute.
In Pikmin 3, 3 space travelers, Captain Charlie, Alf, and Brittany, are off to find a new planet because their one has run out of food. Their ship crash lands on the planet PNF404, where they manage to find a good source of large, juicy fruit. But that's not all they find.
A short encounter with the tiny little plant creatures known as Pikmin lets you know that not only are they friendly, but they're actually pretty useful as well. You said about gathering up as many as you can and sending them off to munch on flowers to generate even more Pikmin.
Enemies in the environment can be defeated if you have enough Pikmin to overwhelm them. Then they'll carry the creature's body back to their onion base and turn it into more Pikmin.
And just like in a strategy game where you have different types of units, you have different types of Pikmin as well.
Yes, you start out with red Pikmin, who are pretty good fighters, flame resistant, and good at munching through sand walls. But you'll soon encounter substances like crystal that they can't get through. Here's where rock Pikmin come in. Rock Pikmin deal heavy blows when thrown directly at enemies, and they can break crystal to get the rewards inside. You'll also get Pikmin that can go underwater, some that are shock resistant and can create their own electrical currents to light up caverns. And as you explore the environment, you'll often come across areas that you'll need to come back to once you have the right kind of Pikmin to access it.
Yes, it all sounds relatively simple, but your time management and leadership skills will be tested with each day of exploration. First of all, you'll need to be constantly gathering fruit so that you and your crew members have enough to eat. And this isn't so easy when you have multiple tasks to complete.
Ugh, and there are so many ways for your Pikmin to die. They can get trampled or eaten by enemies, they can burn or drown, and when the sun sets at the end of the day, if you don't have all of your Pikmin back at base, then they'll be left out in the cold to be gobbled up by beasties.
It's heartbreaking, isn't it? I felt like a bad parent.
Oh, it's all part of the circle of life, Bajo.
Oh, they're so cute and helpful. Unfortunately, they're also small and easily left behind, so it's not hard to lose a few stragglers along the way. And it's just awful watching them chase after the ship as it flies off.
Not to mention, with a limited number of hours in each day, the more Pikmin you lose, the more time you waste the next day generating more instead of collecting fruit or solving puzzles to get through the environment.
The puzzles are relatively simple. Usually it's just about working out how to use your various Pikmin skills to get them from point A to point B, to gather pieces to build a bridge, or collect a hard-to-reach piece of fruit. Often your crew will become separated and you'll have to do a bit of swapping between characters to manage your various types of Pikmin.
Yeah, it is stressful, but in a good way. I think they've nailed the balance of difficulty here, making time management the most important part of the game. If you don't make good use of your time, you're better off just restarting from an earlier day and trying again rather than trying to muddle through each day as you use up more fruit, because you'll eventually get to a point where you'll run out.
Yeah, at one point I was at day 11 and I went all the way back to day 5 because I knew I could do it in a much more efficient and better way.
Yeah, I bypassed a boss battle at one point so I could focus on collecting more fruit and more Pikmin, but then I ended up just wasting a whole bunch of days and fruit in the process. Plus, the rewards I got from defeating that boss actually sent me to a new area, so I did a bit of backtracking as well. That was a tough fight, but I liked the way it used the different kinds of Pikmin.
Yeah, although I did find it a little frustrating in those frantic fights because the controls weren't precise enough to regroup my Pikmin as efficiently as I wanted to, and that was a bit fiddly and frustrating.
Oh, I thought the game generally made good use of the Wii U's functions. A mini-map is displayed on the gamepad, and when you receive communication from your crew members, it's like using a little comm device. And cleverly, the game always lets you know when to look at the screen and when to look at the gamepad, which prevents any screen confusion.
There's also a challenge mode where you can try and collect enough items or battle enemies from within a particular time frame. And this is actually really good practice for the main campaign. It helped me develop good technique in assigning multiple different groups of Pikmin to different tasks.
What did you think of it overall?
Well, we often criticize Nintendo for releasing the same game over and over again with just, better graphics and a few tweaks here and there, but this had a big enough distance from the previous one that I really enjoyed it and found it quite a fresh experience. So I'm going to give this 8.5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about it at first. I was kind of running around a bit bewildered, collecting pears and limes and not really sure what it was all about, but something happened when I went back and restarted from an earlier day. It's like I just got it, and from then on I couldn't put it down. I loved this. I'm giving it 9 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Well, it appears time has run out again for this week's episode of Spawn Point, but we shall return next week, and all three of us will be having a look at Disney Infinity. All three of us.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that one. Till next time, may all your games be good ones. Hex out.
DARREN out.
Bajo out.
Now, Darren, performance review. We need to have a talk.
Yes.
It wasn't me. It was Goose who went to the mailroom. It was
Oh no,
Goose who took the game.
Darren, we don't care about that. Where are the cupcakes you promised us?
You promised us
You
cupcakes,
can't talk
and
about
there are
cupcakes
no cupcakes.
and then not deliver cupcakes.
It was Goose who took the cupcakes.